Today, we're diving into something that so many stroke survivors experience, that feeling of being completely stuck, of hitting a wall in your recovery, no matter how hard you're working. We're going to unpack a simple but really powerful shift in thinking that could be the key to finally breaking through that wall.
So, does this feel familiar at all? You're doing the exercises, you're putting in all the work, day after day, but your progress has just flatlined. If you know that feeling of frustration all too well, then you're in the right place. All right, let's start at the very beginning. When you start recovery, the approach almost always seems obvious, and honestly, it's totally logical. We treat it like we're just trying to build muscle at the gym.
And it just makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, this is based on a simple formula for getting stronger that we've all known our entire lives.
The logic is incredibly straightforward, right? If you can't lift your arm, you practice lifting your arm. If a movement is hard, you just do it again and again. It's the foundation of pretty much any physical training. And on the surface, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, this is the formula we all trust. You put in the reps, you push yourself a little harder each time, and you should see progress. It's just how we think about getting stronger. But this is where the story takes a turn for so many people. There comes a point where this formula, this thing you've always trusted, it just stops working. You hit that really frustrating plateau.
And this is the question that can drive you crazy. You're following the rules, you're putting in the hours, but the needle just won't move. And that's when all the confusion and the self-doubt really start to creep in.
And let's be really clear here. This isn't about a lack of effort. We're talking about consistent, patient, hard work, day in and day out, only to find that some of those key movements, they just refuse to get better. So what's the natural reaction? You think, well, maybe I just need to try harder. So you double down, you put in more focus, more effort, more repetitions, and yet you get the same result. The movement is still stuck. And that cycle is just exhausting. But what if the answer isn't to just push harder? You know, sometimes a single little observation can become a huge turning point, and it can show you the problem in a completely new light.
Now really listen to the language here. That shift in words from weak to blocked is absolutely critical. It suggests the problem isn't a lack of power. It's that there's some kind of obstacle getting in the way.
And that observation leads to this core realization. The issue wasn't about one single muscle in isolation. It was about how the entire system was failing to work together. Think about it like this. It's like trying to fix a single sticky key on a piano. You can press that one key over and over, but if the real problem is with the hammers and the wires inside, you're never going to get a clear sound until the whole mechanism is working in sync. The problem was bigger.
This realization helps us build a completely new framework for recovery. It's a huge shift away from just focusing on training one muscle at a time. So here's the crucial difference. The old logic, muscle training, is all about strengthening, repetition, and overload. But this new recovery logic, it completely changes the focus to things like coordination, timing, and how all the different parts of the body are interacting as a team.
Because that's the reality of how our bodies actually work. You know, a successful movement is like this complex dance involving all these different layers of your system. And if just one part of that chain is out of sync, just forcing the final movement over and over isn't going to fix the real problem.
So what does this all mean for you? Well, it offers a really empowering way to reframe your entire recovery journey. Let's just pause on this for a second, because this is so important. If you're feeling stuck, the problem is not that you aren't working hard enough. It is not a failure of your will or your dedication. The problem is simply that your focus might be incomplete. By only zeroing in on that one muscle or that one movement, you might be missing the bigger picture, that whole puzzle of coordination and interaction. It's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. And if any of this is resonating with you, please know that you are not alone. This feeling of confusion, of working so incredibly hard for what feels like no reward, is a very common and shared experience for so many people on this journey.
So we'll leave you with this question to think about. What if the breakthrough you've been looking for doesn't come from trying harder, but from seeing the problem differently? From reframing it, not as simple weakness, but as a coordination puzzle that's just waiting to be solved.